The coolest part of the internet, and the part you're probably never going to see unless you have a really cool job, and if you get one of these jobs, call me because I would love to get a tour of some of these places, is at the very top of the internet. The very top of the internet is pretty much all fiber optic cabling. The main fiber optic standard, and this runs most of the top of the internet, is called SONET. A SONET signaling uses a particular type of optical carrier, kind of the optical equivalent of T1, called OC lines. The slowest OC line there is the OC1, and it runs at 51.85 megabits per second. Now, there's a whole bunch of increments that go beyond that. For example, the OC3 line runs at exactly 3 times OC1, so it runs at about 155 megabits per second. Now, if you wanted to see all of the OC carriers, well here, let me put up a chart. Wow, that's a lot of different OC carriers. Now listen, don't panic trying to memorize that entire chart for the Network Plus exam. If you concentrate on the first 3, OC1, OC3, and OC12, you'll be perfectly fine for the Network Plus. Now there's another column on that chart, and that's called the STS. STS is simply the framing type. For example, OC1 uses an STS1 type frame, and that's really all that means. So if you remember the OC number, the STS number is exactly the same. Pretty easy stuff. Now, one thing that's very interesting that's been going on for about the last 5 years is that SONET, which has traditionally been the very top of the internet, is starting to fade out a little bit. It's in competition with something very new and cool called gigabit or 10 gigabit Ethernet. Yep, that's right, folks. The very top of the entire internet is slowly being replaced with full-blown point-to-point Ethernet, and it's really pretty cool. Now, the SONET people don't like that because they want you to keep buying SONET stuff. So SONET, as a way to keep the standard going, has actually come out with something called DWDM. That's Dense Wave Division Multiplexing. DWDM basically uses multiple light colors for one piece of fiber and can take an existing connection and multiply it by as much as 150 times. So you can take any of these OC carriers and just by plugging new boxes into the end can kick it up to 150. So that's when you see DWDM, it really still is a SONET line, but it's SONET on steroids. Okay, so for the Network Plus, the big thing I want you to memorize more than anything else are those first 3 OC lines. Make sure you know the speeds, and just remember, all you have to do is remember 51.85 megabits per second and multiply it by the OC number, and you'll get the answer right on the test.